Hello Tube Dwellers and welcome. I'm the Arcadean and this is Mabinogi Duel. So this last week devCAT released Forest of the Dead Part 3 into the lab for testing, and I thought it would be fun to jump in and try out a couple of decks featuring some cards that I've been enjoying using. For those of you who don't know what the lab is, it's a special place where devCAT pre-releases some of the new generation cards in order to get some feedback and ideas on how they run and whether or not they need to be changed. In order to get into it, you tap on the gear icon up in the top right hand corner. Then all the way down near the bottom where it says lab, you'll note that you need to be VIP level 5 or higher to get in. But if you are, just tap on that, agree and enter to all that red text. Ignore the scam cat unless he's offering something really good, which he is not. So thank you anyway. Off he goes. You couldn't, huh? And then down here you'll see that it says card test arena. You just tap on that. If it's your first time, Sarah will pop up. Just agree to whatever she says. Register a deck as you would normally, just any deck, whatever you like, because you'll be changing it anyway. And then tap on change registered deck. Once you're in there, tap on filter up in the top right, and then second from the top where it says show only test cards, just tap on that, and all of the test cards that are currently being tested will be listed here. There's not that many this time around, and none of them are particularly woohoo, but there are some fun ones, so let's take a look. As you can see from this deck here, I've already created the first one featuring Flame Lord Nurgle. He's pretty good actually. He's an 8, 9, 10 cost, and you can see all of his stats and things there, but his ability is what makes him mostly interesting. At the end of a turn, and I love abilities that activate at the end of a turn, makes an enemy creature with 1 HP disappear. Doesn't kill it, so any on-death ability won't activate. Summons a flame creature with a rarity of 0 or higher, so any flame creature really, in front of the slot the target disappeared from. Now, that remains the same through all of his levels, except for level 3, where it becomes a 1 or higher. 1 or higher is better because at that point you start summoning Ifrit with a lot more reliability. But the other flame creatures, even before then, can actually be very useful. So, given that he summons Ifrit, I figured it would be fun to put him into one of those Orperia Ifrit Rush kind of decks with a bit of a twist. So let's take a look. First of all, Summoning Commission. We want a way of generating gold very, very quickly. You can use Gold Rush, but it's a bit randomized. Summoning Commission, when you play it on level 2 or level 3, pretty much always guarantees you're going to make a good profit. Holy Missile as an early game removal spell. Feathers of Phoenix, because it's a resurrection style deck. Surprise Attack for low cost removal. Death Cloud. Now this is integral to the deck. Because Nurgle's ability only activates when the enemy have 1 hit point, you need a way of reducing their hit points to exactly 1 without killing them. Death Cloud allows us to do that. Mana Death Cloud would work very well also. In that case you just switch the darkness over to a more sort of counter spell, counter summon style of build, but either way it's fine. Drag to Hell, again, a low-cost removal spell. Now, we're also using Nightmare. Nightmare can really ramp up the board pressure, as well as potentially also draining enemies down to 1 HP. Hypnosis is as an emergency single target, 1 HP creator, basically. Betrayal, just in case you need to grab somebody over to your side of the field, obviously. And then Nevia, -1, and Orperia, -1. Always go for the -1 variants because you're only interested in the ability, which means you want to summon them as early as possible, well, as cheaply as possible. And then, of course, finally, Flame Lord Nurgle. I've been having a lot of fun with this deck. It's turn not changing. It's basically an Orperia deck, but Nurgle's summoning adds a certain element of enjoyable randomization to it. So let's jump right Let's jump right into a battle and see what happens. Okay, going up against rank 3, a guy from Japan using the neutral hero. Let's see what he's using. A Taylor Miss Shelley deck, nice, level 4. So he's going to start out with more hit points and resources than us. but that's okay. We'll charge up and see what he does. Swamp Zombie. Okay, that's fine. We can kill that quite easily with the Holy Missile, giving us a resource advantage and an XP advantage as well. Phantom of the Wolf. Do we care? We probably do. Let's drag to hell that guy. Alright, we're still doing well for resources. The Elf +1 light variant comes out, which is quite interesting. We will level up, and he does the same. That's fine. Okay, we have a couple of choices here. I think what we'll do is we'll drop the surprise attack onto the Elf. A bit of a resource loss for us, but I think it works out okay in the end. And we'll drop a summoning commission in there, just in case he brings out anything of any real value. The White Shark, that's fine. We make a profit off that. Very nice. Very nice. And with that, we have enough, should we wish to use the Hypnosis and the Nurgle. Do we want to, is the question. I think we do. Let's give it a try. Right? Live dangerously. So we hypnotize the White Shark. And we drop Nurgle down onto the field. He vanishes the hypnotized creature and summons for our delectation a Servant of Fire, which is quite nice. The Zombie Charger moves across and gets some health. That's okay, no problems there. Right, Zombie Charger is going to kill the Servant of Fire, but that's fine because the Flame Lord remains untouched. We can take this opportunity to charge up our resources, get ourselves back into a good position, and get ready for Orperia or Nevia should they be necessary. Turn to Frog, onto the Servant of Fire. Okay, that's fine. So the Servant of Fire lasts one turn less than had been anticipated, but that's alright. We're outputting more damage than he is, so I'm not going to use the Death Cloud yet. And I'm not going to use Nightmare because there's only a couple of creatures out onto the field. Let's see. There goes the Elf +1 again. That's fine. Alright, so at this point what I'm going to do is Death Cloud. That will allow us to kill the Elf and transform the Zombie Charger. Charge up again. Get some health back. Very nice. Thank you, Tina. And a little bit more. Excellent. So Nurgle kills the Elf and then transforms the Zombie Charger into what? An Ifrit, yay. Gotta love it. Swamp Zombie comes out. We don't really mind too much about that. Between Ifrit's effect and Nurgle's high damage, actually what's going to happen is Nurgle's going to take it down to 1 and then vanish it at the end of the turn anyway. So we're fine with that. More health back off Tina, and you can see the advantage to a deck like this is that Nurgle's such a tank in and of himself that you can take a lot of turns to just keep charging up your resources. It's a lot of fun. Homing Pigeon drops down in front of Nurgle, no big deal. In actual fact, that gives us Fatal now with the Betrayal. So we pull the Homing Pigeon onto our side of the field, and then charge up a couple of times, and Nurgle will land the finishing blow. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to have any voice lines yet. He's a silent killer. Silent but deadly. And that's it. So let's take a look at the second deck now. Okay, deck number 2. This one I threw together really just for fun. It's got a lot of creatures that jump around the field, so I figured it would be enjoyable. And it is. Starting at the beginning, we have Leopard, 1-cost creature card, fairly standard. Freeze Summon, fairly standard trap. Mana Holy Missile, although a magic missile would work out just as well. I'm using Dark Hermit Share +1 because I love shares, and why not? It actually works out pretty well with this deck, surprisingly. Arrow of Revenge for a little bit more surprise damage, as well as helping us to get up to level 2 as early as possible. Heavy Offering, just take care of the elves and elephants on the first turn, as well as disrupting board later on in the game. Goblin Shredder to take care of the Hyena Kings and any other nature creature that might be played. Mana Sensing Bomb +1. I really like this guy. You throw him out at level 3, and he's level 4. He'll deal 10 damage whenever your opponent tries to use a spell. Very, very damaging. Sorry, no friendly duel today. Turn to Frog. Excellent for disrupting, getting those big creatures off the field. Adventurer Tia, the first of the jumping around cards. She's very specific in her use, but she can be surprisingly effective. She's actually won a couple of matches for me, and she's just fun. And look at her. She's adorable. Next is Zombie Charger, second of the jump around card. Zombie Charger's actually pretty brutal. Despite the fact that it says if he moves more than 4 slots, it doesn't mean more than, it means if he moves 4 slots. Apart from anything else, you can't move more than 4 slots. But if he moves 4 slots, then he'll gain a significant amount of attack and HP, and then deal that attack to whatever creature is in front of him. He's fantastic. And then the last of the moving around the fields, Bluesy Floozy. From TBT, Nereva would also work absolutely fine, but she tosses out another one of those anti-magic bombs onto the field. So if your opponent is spell heavy, then between Bluesy Floozy and the magic sensing bomb, you've kind of got them locked down. It's not a normal kind of deck, but it is a lot of fun to use. So let's jump in and see how it goes. Okay, going up against a newbie using L. Alright, so I've jumped from, what was it, rank 3 to a rank 0, technically. Don't flaunt in front of me. Using the Tiger deck, yeah, Gold, Nature, Darkness. Pretty brutal deck. You see it a lot in PvP. So, we can't play anything right now. Let's just charge up and see what she throws out. Skeleton, absolutely fine. We'll counter that with the Mana Magic Missile. Even trade, but we come out of it with more XP. She then tosses out the Hyena King. Unfortunately not the nature variant, but so it goes. In that case, I think what we will do is we will ignore that, basically, and we'll put a leopard out onto our side of the field, which he hit with an eagle. But fortunately, the eagle doesn't jump in front of the leopard, so we still get a bit of damage off. We'll level up. And it's a shame we don't have enough gold for Adventurer Tia, but so it goes. In that case, what we will do now is we will drop Bluesy Floozy here. She will take the eagle's hit and then kill it next turn. And that helps us out there. We won't throw out the Goblin Shredder because I don't want to kill my own leopard. We will instead just charge up. Good, Adventurer Tia should be ready to go next turn. We can drop her in the far right rather, and she'll jump across to the Hyena King and put him into a little jack-in-the-box. Skeleton Knight, no problem. Goblin Bomb Squad, that's fine. A lot of low-cost creatures, obviously a chip deck style. That's fine. So we'll drop Adventurer Tia down. She'll jump over there, drop the Hyena King, and then we'll drop the Zombie Charger. He'll run across to the Skeleton Knight, power himself up, and kill the Skeleton Knight and summon the Skeleton. Very good. And Bluesy Floozy kills the Eagle. And the Hyena King is summoned immediately, and slap, okay. Well, that does more damage to her, thanks to that. Oh, and that damages the Hyena very nicely. Okay, we'll level up. And revive. That's a bit risky on our part, just a little bit. Now, what comes out of the jack-in-the-box? Oh, the Hyena King comes right back out of the jack-in-the-box. That's fine. Yeah, it's a little bit risky on our part because now we're down at 3, but we can simply kill the bomb squad with the doodad. and throw down the magic sensing bomb. And no, I was going to say we could throw down chair, but there's no point right now. We'll save our darkness. Alright, so if she blocks Bluesy Floozy, she's fine, but if she casts a spell, she's dead, and if she doesn't cast block Bluesy Floozy, then she's down. And she does manage to block her. It's unfortunate, but meh. Because all we have to do now is Arrow of Revenge, and we win. Yay. How come an Archangel lose like this? Poor Archangel. So that's the jump around deck. And that was the lab. It's a lot of fun if you can get in, so if you're a VIP 5 or higher, give it a try. That's all from me. So as always, thank you for watching, and a special thank you to everyone who's subscribed so far. Until next time, have fun and good luck.